Hello everyone, and welcome here to just a little brief overview of what A-level sociology is like at Best Grammar School. My name is Mr. Walter. I do a lot of the sociology here at Best along with a couple of other teachers. So what I want to do today is just go over with you what it's all about. Okay, so as you can see here a couple of pictures looking at different aspects of moral panics in terms of crime, what it's like to be labelled by a teacher in school, and also what the modern family looks like. So, first of all, what I want to do is just go through with you what you'll be studying in A-level sociology. So the first paper you look at education with theory and methods. So that paper will be 2 hours and it's worth a total of 80 marks. Now with that you look over certain things like class, gender, ethnicity and the policies that have been used throughout the last 100 years in education and how that's tried to balance out any divisions that there are between classes or gender or ethnicity. The second paper is topics in sociology, which is also 2 hours and 80 marks. Now that's split between two topics, and that's family and household, which we'll do in year 12, and beliefs in society, which we'll do in year 13. The final paper is crime and deviance with theory and methods, again 2 hours, worth 80 marks. And you look at things such as crime in the media, control, punishment and victims, globalisation and green crime, and labelling theory. So those are the kind of key things that you'll be studying in A-level sociology. So how to survive A-level sociology, a couple of things. Make sure you get yourselves organised, okay? You're going to need 4 folders, one for each module, and you're going to keep your notes in order in those folders, and you'll need to bring those to lesson to help you out. Keep up to date with the news is a great one, alright? So download a news app, BBC News, and keep up to date with what's going on around you. Just every day something new happens that relates to sociology, so just keep up to date. Use the textbook. You'll be given a textbook at the beginning of the year, and it will mean that you can go over things where you find the lesson content quite difficult. Some lessons are like that, and it genuinely has almost everything you need. Keep up to date with your homework and your pre-reading. You'll fall behind very quickly if you don't keep up to date with the work that we've set you, so perhaps get yourselves a diary if you think it's going to help you. Contributing lessons, I'm a big believer in this. You're going to get way more out of your lessons if you just engage and actively take part. It's a subject we can all relate to, so we all have an opinion, so sharing your view is essential to allow you to enjoy the subject that little bit more. I'm one of those few teachers that actually likes to hear you in class. Do more. If you want to succeed, you need to go beyond what we do in the lesson, okay? So read books, watch documentaries, there's tons of them. Find the area of sociology which you love, all right? So those are the kind of things that will help you in the 2 years at Best. So what I want to do now is give you a little taster of what it would actually be like in, say, the first lesson that you'd have with me at the start of year 12. Now what we do in the first lesson is we get all the students to stand up and move to the side of the room whether they agree or disagree with the statements here. Now I'm going to have a few statements here for you all, and I just want you can pause the video here if you so wish, and just think about whether you would agree or disagree with some of the following statements. So first one, just to get everything ticking, advertising should be banned. So I've got a couple of adverts here that have been banned over time. So the first one here from the 1950s. So the harder a wife works, the cuter she looks. You can obviously understand why that's been banned. And a more recent one with the What the Cluck advertising campaign by KFC, which has been banned in the last couple of months, I believe. So have a think about where you want to go, whether you agree or disagree, and think about why you would actually agree or disagree with it, because that's what I'll be doing. I'll be asking anyone that moves to one side of the room or the other what if they agree or not. So second one here, some stereotypes are true. So basically that's the idea of perhaps in terms of gender roles. Is it true that perhaps boys are stronger than girls, that girls like makeup, dressing up as princesses, or actually is it the other way around, and perhaps that certain boys like playing with dolls, or that girls actually like playing with those kind of things that are normally considered designed for boys, such as things like scale electrics, toy cars, all that kind of stuff. So another one there just to consider. Now we're getting into sort of the meat of what we'll be doing in sociology. So a question here, the education system is equal for everyone. So in other words, does everyone have a fair shot at succeeding in the education system? Some of you might have some particularly strong opinions on that. So whether you agree or disagree with that, if you want to think about that, and again, just maybe jot down what you think, just so you're ready for when you come and join me next year at Beth's. Then, this one will be quite interesting considering the makeup of this school in particular. Single-sex education is better than mixed-sex education. from years 7 to 11 here, it's obviously all single sex, but in A-level here, it's mixed sex. So we have quite a varying views on this one. We kind of see a lot of different people have quite heated debates about this one. I do this in the first lesson in this year. So again, whether you agree because you're in a single sex education, whether you disagree because you're in mixed, be interesting to get your thoughts on that. This one, ethnic diversity is good for societies, the idea of multiculturalism. In this area in particular, we're quite an ethnic diverse area. So this one tends to go one way, but it depends on obviously the location of where you're from as to what people think about this one. So again, just something to think about when it comes to ethnic diversity. Now this one, politics, laws and society should be structured around religious teaching. So this links me more to the belief section of the course, and this is the idea that actually we should focus entirely on the religious teachings in life and follow them to the letter, and that should actually be part of our law system. Again, there are some very strong opinions usually on this one, and we'll go into way more depth about that throughout the course of year 12. Men and women should have the same rights and opportunities. Now that looks under the concept of feminism, which is one of the perspectives that we look at in sociology. So here I've just got a couple of newspaper clippings from a couple of years ago where they had the pay scandal at the BBC, where most of the highest paid earners at the BBC were men, and the highest earner was Claudia Winkleman, who was getting paid less than her male counterparts. So it's the idea there, should men and women have the same rights and opportunities as men? And then here, the best way to understand how society works is by observing people in their day-to-day lives. So in other words, the only way that you can figure out how society actually functions is by observing it in the day-to-day. So you might think of the idea of perhaps you've had a class where you've had an observer that you've never seen before in the room, and maybe you've wondered what they're there for. Now, those people are there observing to see what it's like in reality. So those people definitely want to know what it's like on a day-to-day basis. So think about that. Is that the only way that we can actually see how people live their lives, or are there other ways perhaps through using like census data, so things that we can get online? Working class people are more deviant than those in the middle class. So this links to what you'll do in year 13 with crime and the idea of deviance. So here we've got a couple of lovely louts who are just having a really good time, and then we've just got a middle class person there going to work with his latte because he's that inclined. And just obviously a picture there of the different classes, so working class, middle class and upper class. So in other words, what this is trying to say is, are people from working class backgrounds more likely to be deviant and commit crime than those in the middle class? So you might want to think about what kind of crimes that this person will commit compared to what these people are going to commit. So something worth thinking there. Do you agree or disagree with that? And then, last one here, I think, crime is not only inevitable, but also has positive benefits for society. So in other words, is it actually a good thing that crime happens in the first place? And what can we benefit from crime happening? So here we can see the idea of moral panics happening by certain tabloid papers like the Daily Mail, and I believe that was the Mirror, where it says call in the army, top cops plea on knife crisis. So this is quite recent, the idea of, especially in London, with the rise in knife attacks and how the media really pushes it to try and make changes happen. So maybe you need to think about that and the idea of, can crime actually mean that there are benefits for society in future? So something there. Do you agree or disagree with that? So that is just a little bit of how we focus on sociology here. We like to just get you to think about kinds of stuff. Hopefully you've been able to think about what you'd agree or disagree with those kind of points there. And more than anything, I hope that you decide to come and join us here at BEST next year. Thank you very much.